It's such a weak clap every time.
Wait, does that mean for me to
I think
say
it's
a
because you
prayer?
have the headphones on.
Oh, for sure.
That's much better.
I'm deaf as shit. All right. 3, 2, 1. And hello, everybody. Welcome on back to Budz, Talking Budz. We got Elijah, we got Sean, we got Jared, and got your boy HT. How's everybody doing today?
It's Father Elijah.
Yes, no, it's Father Wade.
Well, Father Wade. Squeeze me.
And I'm fantastic.
Can you do a quick prayer real quick?
Sure, why not? All right. In nome Dei Padre et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, please protect us on this podcast. Make sure I don't say anything like remotely stupid, although I'm going to. All right. And let's just make sure everybody has a great rest of their day. I'm going to have some pancakes and watch a Halloween movie tonight. I don't know what anybody else is doing, but I hope it's fantastic. Amen.
He also has a fake Bible filled with weed.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I will,
it has a flask in it
It is
right
the
now?
Holy Book of Hammered.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Holy water.
Holy water. I didn't put anything in here. I came unprepared.
Okay, but we need to fill that with weed before you go.
Oh, all right. Cool.
Yeah, put some stuff in there for sure.
You're not that mad.
No, I have been not smoking for like 4 days though.
Wow. Why is that?
I don't know. I haven't been having a hard time breathe, and I'm just like, I might need to take a break.
Might be a reason.
Ironic that comes at the same time that the girl was like, oh, maybe a little less.
It is a
smoking and
little
drinking.
ironic. Don't get me wrong. It really is. However, I don't know. I feel pretty great.
I
I'm
mean,
not
that's
gonna
what's
lie.
up. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
I don't
See,
feel
and
any
that's-
different.
That's what was, she just wanted to know if you could make it outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it outside. like a
not,
dog.
Not smoking. Outside the weed life.
Oh, okay.
I can. But anyways.
Well,
Crushing it.
Yeah.
Just want to say we're on right now. You're hearing us on a Monday. We came out on Monday, so second week in a row. I think last week was a good. Yeah, we release on Monday now, Elijah.
Oh, I was like, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and just wanted to say last week I think it was good, more beneficial as a podcast. So I think the listeners like it too. So just wanted to say that. Thank you for with our change going with us. We're going to start this off though. It's Halloween weekend. Mm-hmm. To start us off, I need to know your favorite Halloween candy.
I love Reese's.
Yeah.
That's like by far. And I don't,
just plain Reese's?
Reese's
Not
peanut
Fast
butter
Break.
cups.
Not Fast Break.
Fast Break. Actually,
yeah,
that's
Fast
what I
Break.
usually
Take
go
5.
for. If I'm going to the gas station, I grab a Fast Break.
Yep.
Yeah. Every single time.
Every time.
Every time.
Reese's products are just to die.
They're hard to beat. They're hard to beat. Warheads, though, baby. That sour warhead. I like put 3 or 4 in my mouth at
You're
one
a
time.
psycho.
Put it in my lip like a dip.
Oh my God. I got a story for that, but not about warheads.
That's the wrestler talking in you.
Absolutely, yeah. We used to use warheads and spit into cups.
Yeah.
We'd be on the bus. We'd be on the way to a tournament. Be like, I got to shave off a little bit.
Yeah. And then you got my fat ass with the guys next to me doing the same thing, and I'm just like, this burger's so good. my friends are chewing on Skittles and spitting it out, and I'm just like,
This breakfast sandwich rocks.
I'm not mad at being fat at this moment. You guys are hating life.
Yeah, so I do this thing with my kids when they get a bunch of Halloween candy every year, like a pillowcase full. And I said I don't want them eating Halloween candy for the next 6 months. So I say, okay, you can pick however many. We kind of debate back and forth how many they get to keep, and then the rest of them they have to donate to a fairy. So I go to the dollar store, I get some real cheap things. They leave it outside their room one night. The rest of the candy, then I leave something, in a little.
That's to put it outside their door.
Exactly. I say, okay.
You don't have to touch them.
I say you got to put in a bag, put it outside your door, and then the fairy will come and leave you a little something that they clearly see from the dollar store when we go in there next time. Like, oh, fairy shops at the dollar store. Candy fairy.
I didn't know the outside the door trick, so you can't even wake them up or ruin it.
No, they put it all out, but then I end up with a desk drawer full of candy for the next 6 months. So I actually think I might just let them take the bullet for it and eat all the bad candy, so then I don't have all the temptation to eat the candy.
True.
It's like they can take one for the team.
Yeah, they get diabetes, not you. Everybody's happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ruin their lives sooner.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they're going to turn into Elijah's.
Yeah.
all this great parenting I got going on.
You mean a priest.
Priest, yes.
I haven't been to prison yet, and I haven't killed myself. So here we are.
Yeah, here we go. It's only up from here.
It's only up from here.
Twix is my favorite candy. 100%. Let's just Twixes are great.
Have you ever had
left or right?
I left. I don't know.
That's the point of the commercial.
In the fight of.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Supporting
eaten
the
frozen
left.
Twix?
I'm a right-handed. Yes. But you know what's actually funny about that is the frozen Snickers are better.
Oh, way
That
better.
is
Those
true.
are way
actually.
better.
That is true.
I don't know why. But yeah, frozen Snickers is the win.
The caramel, the caramel is like perfect in that.
It's also the crunch, like that crunch. There's like,
Yeah.
it's not the same with the Twix.
and it's so
Twix has a
fluid.
crunch
It's not
when
thick, so it's like it's mushy, but
Oh,
ice cream still.
No, what you do is you take a Snickers, you freeze it,
Yeah.
and then you deep fat fry it in oil.
okay.
That's where
Okay.
it's at.
Okay.
And you
All
gotta
right.
freeze it
This
first.
is your Nebraska talking
It is.
about.
This is this is absolutely Nebraska State Fair, and they put it on a
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah.
So they get one of those big king size Snickers. They freeze it, and then they shove a maybe they shove a stick in it first. I'm not sure about that, but then they just dip it in red on oil, but it's frozen so it doesn't fully melt.
Oh, it didn't They don't like bread it.
I think
with
they bread
anything?
it. They have to bread it.
yeah.
Because we did deep fried Oreos like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they
must
dip
have
it
been.
in-
It's very light breading, because I don't remember it being
Like super
a super
ridiculous.
thing,
Because deep fried Oreos,
They're like just a coating.
Yeah,
They just
they're
dip it
better.
in a batter and they throw it in.
What type of
So
batter though? That'd be something sweet, right?
Yeah, it's like a
Usually,
like
typically,
almost,
it's
same thing as like
almost
funnel
like
cake.
it's almost like pancake batter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pancake batter. Yeah.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
would just roll it in it
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick
yeah.
and then just.
Same thing as like a funnel.
We
Yeah.
did it once. Actually, it was me.
Hey, no,
Kevin,
it's a good thing you
and
don't know.
We made like
Yeah.
two
It's a good-
trays of Oreos, deep fried Oreos, and there's like 4 of us. And I was sick for at least a day.
Yeah.
It was bad, like stomach ache, like brutal.
Ugh.
I'm a Reese's guy, and so is my wife. So we get the king size, and we put it in the freezer.
Yes.
And then you take just a cup out
oh,
of frozen or of cold Reese's peanut butter cup. It's absolutely delicious.
It is
With
really
some
good.
hot chocolate or something. I don't know.
No, just take it out. And just,
What about those neighborhoods that are like the rich neighborhoods that you always know as a kid or even now? I'm sure.
that's where I grew up.
Yeah, and then you would go there and they'd be literally giving out full size candy
Like
bars.
king
yeah.
size
Yeah.
candy
oh
bars.
yeah.
So you
The
why you-
cloisters, where you used, where you used to live. That was where we used to go.
So I grew up in the neighborhood, you know, where you like Unagi Sushi's on the hill over here in Pismo. I grew up in that neighborhood over there, and yeah, literally,
So it is kind of yeah.
yeah. Anyways, but literally, all you had to do is go one block down, and they'd give you king size bars of everything.
Yeah.
So, and then I would sell them to the poor kids.
I mean, you know what? Entrepreneur.
There you go.
It's fucking twisted, but awesome. And that story reminded me. It's totally off base, not about candy, but my buddy. Remember in high school, around that time, it was the 5-5-5 deal at Domino's, so you get 3 pizzas for $5 each.
It's $5.99.
Yeah, but you can get 3 pizzas for $15. You can't do that.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like-
mean, it's like 21 or 22.
It's not 15, brother.
It's still good.
It's still
It's still terrible, but the price of it is
When you get
Still.
if you get a perfect Domino's, it champions almost any other pizza.
I could be blackout wasted and I'm going to deny Domino.
I'm sorry you live that life.
Well, what about the deep dish one? That one's actually good.
I call them all death discs, Domino death disc. If I come home and there's Domino's at the house for dinner, which happens sometimes, yeah, I'm eating leftovers.
We had Palomesa
All right.
recently. It was amazing.
Palomeses is just super expensive though.
It's
they're,
good.
They're overly priced.
I'm talking shit. I'd crush 10 pieces and bring it for lunch then.
Okay, thank you, Lord. I'm like, I might need to switch jobs.
I'll
That's
get a
such an
stomachache,
asinine
but
statement.
I get stomach aches from Domino's all the time, but I love it. I love it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
some chicken, whatever. Like
I can't remember the
Well,
last
I mean,
time.
now they have the
Domino's.
pastas and the
But see,
sandwiches.
like no offense, I never get a stomach ache from Round Table. I don't know. What's the difference?
Well,
How the fuck did we get on Domino?
no, okay,
I don't know, I don't
because
even-
what he said.
Stoner conversation.
Because he was selling candy bars like a
Yeah, there we
degenerate.
go.
Oh, yes.
So my buddy, we had like a little like a cart outside of the cafeteria, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they sold pizza, and they sold Domino's pizza like in a little tray. We had it. It was $1 a piece. They raised it to $1.25. My friend Ernest Pierce about riot. So what he did the next day, he got the 5-5-5 deal.
Okay.
Sold the pieces of pizza for $1 each, and he still had a whole pizza to himself.
So why am I a degenerate?
I was saying he the degenerate too.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
He got in trouble for it. He got in trouble for it. The principal told him to stop. He started picketing like a weirdo out in front of it.
What was his name again?
Ernest Pierce.
Ernest Pierce.
Ernest Pierce.
Shout out,
That's
dog.
a nice name. Yeah.
And he had like he had a sign in front of the cafeteria stand, and he's like, "Hell no, we won't go." I don't know why he put that. He was just weird. Yeah, it was that.
Hey, somebody clip this out and send it to Ernest
Yeah,
as,
we
as
will.
a shout out to the
We will.
homie.
I love
He's
him.
a hustler. Sounds like a
Yeah,
He's
hustler.
hilarious.
It's-
Is what he
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Absolutely hilarious.
God.
He's super character. I love him.
Yeah,
I might sell some
Always-
holy water in Halloween.
yeah. All right, so we're gonna go to the next part. We're gonna go talk about this past weekend. Our boss went to Seattle, and he went to somewhere that I think everybody needs to go to someday.
Seattle's a badass place. Everybody should go. Highlight of my trip. I'll fast forward through the boring stuff. The Space Needle. So if you haven't been there, you go up to the top. It's like a minute or two ride up in an elevator. The entire thing is glass. The floor, the walls, everything, and it spins. Not fast like a roller coaster, but just spins in a circle. So every 30 minutes you do a complete rotation. So as listeners may have learned, I like to be vibing. I've explained this before. Some good alcohol, a little microdose, smoke a joint or two. I was really vibing on this one. So we get up to the top. We get our seat. We're actually eating dinner up there. So we sit down, and it was a kind of like a custom drink menu where they came to your table and made them, and they were using liquid nitrogen. So they had like all these beakers, and they were pouring liquid nitrogen in the tequila, and they were mixing it all up while you're just watching from the whole city skyline. Go around.
Can you walk up there and get it, or do you have to get like reservations?
You can walk up there and have a few drinks and just hang out all the time, and you could spend all day or all night up there. But you did have to have like a reservation for the dinner, for the sit down dinner thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But so if anybody ever goes, you go to Seattle, you do the Space Needle, show up while it's still light out, like maybe 6:30, but then stay until it gets dark, because then you get to see everything in the daytime, and you kind of like picking some cool things out, and then the night and the city lights up. Ooh. Oh, and if you're vibing.
Yeah. You're vibing.
You're gonna enjoy it. I did not go to any dispensaries. I had some plans. I wanted to go to some dispensaries, talk some shit about how California's better or something like that.
Yeah.
But I brought enough little baby Jeter joints with me that I didn't really need.
Yeah.
Need to.
That's what we call foreshadowing in the
Yeah.
biz.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, that's a tease if you don't know what I mean. How was everybody else's weekend? Because that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Same thing.
Mom's good.
Chilling.
Yeah. Played a
Yeah.
bunch of pool. It was nice.
One
camping,
axe thrown.
actually, too.
Good job.
Oh,
Camping
you
was
went
great.
axe throwing?
I did.
Nice. How was that?
That's a win.
It's fucking dope, dude.
It's
Oh
fun.
my god, you guys got to go. And it's like if you do an hour, it's only $30 a person.
Yeah.
Did you wear that outfit?
No. I was on a date, all right? I couldn't do that.
Not stop. I don't think any of us would be shocked if you wore that on it.
I might
None
be
of
wearing
us.
this tonight.
None of
Anyways.
us.
I mean, it is. Yeah.
I'm so
but
disappointed I don't have an outfit.
Yeah, first we went to Giuseppe's, had some great Italian food, and then went axe throwing.
You dropped a bag, son.
I did. Yeah.
Giuseppe's-
Which one? Which one? The one in slow or the one in
The one in slow.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
that's the one.
we
All right.
went and she watched me do my stand up.
okay,
God.
and she's still with you. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
She thinks I'm
right.
She didn't
hilarious.
just get up and leave. All right.
And she's coming over to make me dinner tonight. So
Yeah,
Oh,
the pancakes
God.
and Halloween, like you said.
yeah, I'm fucking stoked. I'm
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually kind of jealous. That sounds
Yeah.
like a good night.
How'd your set go?
Fantastic.
Is it completely new material again? Like
I got
every
some
week?
new stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you actually like doing bits over again and try to like build up a set?
Sometimes. Yeah.
That's
Look
my
at
man.
you.
That's my
Yeah.
man.
It's a little tough, but you know what? It's like I can't. It's always the crowd that's just you got to read out. It's so weird sometimes.
Our little boy's growing up.
I love it. He's sharpening that iron.
Could you always said like, oh, I don't write anything down. My name's Elijah. But now that sounds good. I'm good.
Did the normal guy that runs it, was he there?
Yes,
Nate, did he do the same exact bit that he's been doing for 3 months?
some of it, and then some of it's new, but then some of the new stuff is stuff I've heard before.
Yeah,
So
okay.
like everybody else is laughing, I'm just sitting there like,
Hey, that's how you build a bit, though.
yeah,
That's how you do it.
I know, but
It's got to be a good bit.
I
I know.
but
Is it
when
not that?
but when
No,
the
it's not
crowd
good.
members, but when the people in the crowd have heard your bits before and
Oh, for
call you out for it.
Oh, they do that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They're relentless. They're relentless. And it was like sometimes I get hecklers in the crowd, but thankfully I know how to handle it well. Cause like I'll be like, who here smokes weed? And then people are like, yeah. And I'm like, that's my profession, like smoking it or selling it. I'm like, find out later. My joke about single moms only goes over so well sometimes.
I lot of single moms.
Anyways, so Tuesdays at
Libertine.
in San Luis Obispo, if you want to make fun of Elijah over here.
Go
Almost
for
at-
it.
Good times.
We're gonna jump on to the next thing. Us as a company, the Source Delivery is transitioning to expanding all the way out to Santa Barbara. So, Jared, I kind of wanted you to tell us what the move we're doing.
I mean, essentially, we're going to take over everything from Isla Vista down to Montecito.
That's big.
Should be a really good time.
Man,
Yep. Elijah's going down this weekend dressed
Right.
like this for Halloween weekend.
I'm gonna bless all you children with some joints and some business cards, and we're gonna make sure that you know what's happening the next day.
Hell
Can we
yeah.
cut out children, please?
They're all children of God.
That's right. They're all children of God.
There's nothing wrong with that sentiment whatsoever.
All right. I'll let
21
it
plus
pass.
children of
Touche.
God.
Yes, fine. Specifically 21 plus and older.
Thank you for the
You will
disclaimer.
be
I
checking
appreciate it.
IDs.
Yeah, of course he will.
We're going to bars, okay? I don't have to check their IDs.
There we go. See,
That's how Akon, made blame it on me. that was how that all happened.
As long as I'm not Akon
they let him in
or-
the show. Like that
Shit.
was it. But no, he freaked with some 17-year-old girl on stage,
I
and it went
remember
crazy,
that.
bro. I swear.
I'm not trying to pull an Akon or an R. Kelly, all right? So we're good.
Well,
I don't know.
understandable. I'm just saying.
if you're in that piss game,
it's happening.
it
Oh.
happens.
Sounds like you're trying to pull a Michael Jackson.
But see, here's the thing, though. We all still listen to Michael Jackson.
I don't.
Yeah. And you don't want to hear
I just
another
don't.
weird thing?
If Thriller comes on, I got a little bit.
yeah,
of it.
And it's like with Jared from Subway. We don't refer to him as Jared the pedophile. We still refer to him as Jared from Subway.
No,
Who's a pedophile? Yeah.
But I think everybody's mind
No,
goes
he's
to
definitely
that.
in jail. He's definitely in jail right now.
The name alone.
I wonder if he's still skinny in jail.
I mean, they can buy whatever they want.
No longer.
He might be getting a
eating
workout
Subway
in there.
every day,
He's
probably,
getting
though.
footlongs. He's getting footlongs.
I see what you did there. I see what you set it up.
and then just knocked it out the park.
So Santa Barbara. So all the way to Montecito. So that's a big stretch. How
my
many
God.
miles? Is that?
Decent amount of space.
It's about 150,000 people.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it almost like we're like completely covering all of Santa Barbara County now. We've already all San Luis Obispo County. We've been rocking that for a long time now, but we've been in the northern part of SB County, but now we're going to take over the south.
Oh my
And it's, some of you guys are like, how are you going to go to San Luis Obispo County all the way to Santa Barbara? That's far. When right now, if we go to Paso, it's already an hour trip. So right now, if we go to Santa Barbara, it's just an hour 15, hour 45 at the
I
max.
think hour 20.
If you go to the deepest part,
if you don't
Hour 20 at the max.
yeah.
Minus traffic.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
minus-
That's actually not
if it's really
terrible.
bad traffic, then what? But
So,
So
if you're
that's
from
why-
Santa Barbara
Yeah.
and you're listening to this, hit us up this weekend, right before Halloween, on Halloween.
Wait, are we gonna have some deals down there? We're gonna have some deals.
are we gonna have to?
so many deals that we only have 30 minutes and we'd run out of time.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah. So we'll definitely clip that for the Santa Barbara folks. Yeah, that's going to be big. You
an eye
might
out.
see Blonde Elijah. You might see a couple other of our employees out there. So shout out to that. I'm glad that we're moving. That's big things, big team.
I'm ready.
Big
Yep.
things.
If you see them, say hi. They're great people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm going to be stoked.
And we got
to meet all
pre-rolls, so
those
just
people.
come say hi. If you see a priest, well, if you see Elijah,
Am I
just come
holy
up
book
and
of
he'll
hammer?
And I think I think Dev Nasty is an astronaut.
Just
What the fuck did he just say?
I'm waiting. No, I'm just waiting to see like some other priest in downtown Santa Barbara. Come on. Hey, you have joined us. You have joined us.
We're going to go on to our next current event. There is a big thing going on with Jeter. They put out a memo today. Pretty big deal, and I'm going to have Sean take away with it.
First, I want to say Jeter is the largest pre-roll company in California. I support you, Jeter. I smoke your products personally.
Yes,
They're
sir.
really good.
We carry them.
We carry them. We sell the crap out of them. But they got a lawsuit against them. So two homies, one from Long Beach, one from Fresno. They started smoking these baby Jeters, which are like little short.
Are they friends?
They must because they filed the lawsuit together.
They did. Okay,
Oh.
so
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, they could be partners.
I thought it was two different people,
Business
Oh,
but
or
you're saying they're okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
the-
two different dudes.
The lawsuit went in as one
A class
lawsuit.
action, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, class action lawsuit, which I had to look up what that was, but it means when like multiple people get together and like kind of sue an entity. So I don't know if these two dudes are together. They're they could be. But so two gentlemen were smoking some Jeter pre rolls, and they just were like, "Man, I am not getting high off of these pre rolls." pre-rolls. So they decided, you know what? I got an extra $1,000 laying around in my house. Let me run some independent tests.
Which is insane. They cost how much do you just to do that? It's 1,000.
It's like 600 to do a test. So they did 2 tests, $550 to $600.
But like none
That's
of us
still
have the extra
crazy.
$600 to do that.
And just because you didn't get high,
Yeah.
like I would have just went and bought something else and smoked it.
Yeah.
But
Or I
Anyway,
just smoked the
irrelevant.
second one. It's a 5-pack. I mean,
For sure. So they decided that they were gonna there's no way. And Jeter had it posted up at 46%, was the THC, and so then they went in and independent tested it, and it came back anywhere from 23 to 27%, depending on which lab they used. The laws state that you can actually be within. There's a 10% window. So say you just basically have to have it listed on the product, which is within 10% of what it actually tests at. And it's kind of interesting. The reason they do that is to say you grow wedding cake. It's a really common strain, and every single time wedding cake tests like 23 to 24%. Like it's always like that. So you could technically pull down a batch and you would package it all up. You would put like 23% on there. Then you would send it out to get tested, and it came back and it'd be right there in that window. Boom, it's already packaged, it's ready to go. So that's why they give you that kind of like 10% window. But in order for that 10% window to be valid, it has to be packaged pre-testing. So I think this hasn't actually come out. I was trying to find the actual like lawsuit thing, but that was filed. But I think this is one of the things that's going to come out of it is some of the dates that were on the pre-rolls are going to be post the testing, meaning they tested it, they had the results, and they still posted it high. So that's big. One thing they're getting them on, or it's also just way out of the 10% margin that you're supposed to have.
which 10% is massive, and not
Absolutely, it can be massive. Yeah, it can be. I don't know. Let's say it's 40%.
when you're
20 to 30
when
is a
you're
huge
walking
jump.
out exactly
That's too much.
expecting 30% and it comes back 20%, and like I don't think all companies do it. Most of them probably play within like maybe the 2 to 5 range, if anything. But 10%'s a big number.
It's difficult with pre-rolls too. So something that we've noticed is that once you grind the flower up, it's going to lose about 5% THC automatically. And how we kind of know this is, so we'll get a bunch of flower in, we'll just package some of the flower up into eighths and sell it, and we'll obviously get that tested. But once you make a pre-roll, you have to get it retested because they're afraid there could be mold in the papers or whatever happened in the manufacturing process. And we'll use that same exact flower in the pre-rolls, and it'll come back 4 or 5% less. We just sent out some flour that we do pre-ground flour where we grind it up for everybody first and get like a really nice consistency. Some of that was coming back like 16% is what it was, what the testings were coming back at. So we called the testing lab, and he's like, oh yeah, once you aggregate that flour like that up and it messes with the moisture
Just
content,
disrupting it and
you're going to lose 5%. Yep. So Jeter, I know they'd be battling against that since they make pre-rolls. It's already got to be pre-ground. So they got a lot of things to battle against to try to make it to make that THC number higher. And unfortunately, the THC number is what sells. I mean, there's no getting around that.
Is this affecting their vapes too, or is it only the joints?
As of now,
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see any vape things.
Okay.
I just saw the joints. They were diamond infused 5-pack pre-rolls is the ones that they're specifically talking
The
about.
ones that we carry.
Yep. So basically, somebody sued Jeter because they didn't get high enough.
This is a huge point to be made, though, because we've been talking about this for a while. The sativa hybrid indica thing, the percentages thing, how people look at the menu and they're like, I want the highest testing THC.
Yes.
Right. And it's like that highest testing THC percentage could be a dime bag eighth or like, whatever. But that 35% dime bag eighth might not get you as high as the 26% Ember Valley quarter.
Exactly.
You can get something
Exactly.
20%.
that you're buying. And so
I've had some 20% smack the shit out of me.
and it's a lot of I think people need to start focusing more on the brand itself and like the things coming behind
Well,
it
not just the
rather
brand,
than
it's
the
just,
numbers
like-
that are showing
Yeah.
up on
Yeah.
it. 'Cause
You got to pay attention to how they're growing it, what their flushing process is, I'm not even kidding, like exactly what the ash looks like when you smoke it too. Because something I didn't know for the longest time is the color of ash depends on how well do they flush their product. If it's black, it's got heavier chemicals in it. If it's white, it was flushed properly. If the cannabinoids are testing at a certain percentage, and then besides the THC, that might be what's getting you high. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just ridiculous that that's all people focus on these days.
Yeah, there's a little unknown secret in the industry is none of these brands grow their own weed.
Yep.
So you can't look at Dimebag's a great example because Dimebag is the craziest, highest testing flower, but yet it's not grown indoors under lights, which normally produce higher testing results. But they do not use the same cultivator. So
No. They go through
exactly. You could look at 5 different strains, and then you trace back the numbers in the metric system to where they were grown at, and one was grown in Salinas, one was grown in Mendo, one was grown in Long Beach.
I think you can actually just look at the back of the bag. It'll tell you like
lot of
what company.
Yeah.
They grew it from. 7 Points was doing it for a while. I know that. And then I don't know. Mountain View was a couple of them, but then they're flowing through them. So it's not. Yeah. Then you might order Dimebag one day and then might order Dimebag the next and get a completely different area of California that weed was grown.
100%. So one time, this is maybe 6-8 months ago, I got a call from the state of California, and they were like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm just working. And they're like, "Yeah, we'd love to come by, and it's nothing too big. We just need to go over a few things." And when the state calls you, DCC, cannabis control, I was like, "Absolutely, I'm here." So they rolled through like 20 minutes later. Guy must have just called me from up the road, and I was kind of thinking, they were here to investigate us and look at us, and it's just kind of how the game works. But I quickly realized when they were focusing in on one brand that they weren't here to look at us. So basically, it was a flower brand, and it was testing results discrepancies is what they were looking for. So they made me pull out like all the stuff we have from this brand, and they were taking all the pictures of the labels. They even took some with them. It's funny. They were like trying to tell me how to get compensated for these few eighths. They're like, so you can fill out all this paperwork and we can get you like, retail costs for these few eighths. And I was like, gee, the state of just take these eighths. Dude, you guys do whatever you want. They came in the door. They asked me like, hey, do we need to wear a visitor badge? I'm like, I don't know. You're the people that would get me mad at me for not visitor badging. Do what you want. But
That's actually a funny one.
Are you going to take yourself to jail if you don't wear one?
If I remember correctly, wasn't it like a $20 eighth?
yes, it was real
Okay,
cheap. It was one of the cheapest eights we don't
my
carry
God.
anymore.
Yes, 100%.
But so go back. I just want to go back. I was trying to make a point about how people use different cultivators a lot. So you see people use different cultivators, and from a person that's used different cultivators, you get the craziest varying test results. So when you see a brand, I'm not going to name any brands. Dimebag. When you name a brand, no, I'm kidding, guys. No, really though. And they're growing from all of these different. They're getting from all these different sources, and yet their THC numbers are always 29, 30. Super high. You got to see some smoke coming out there. You're like, this can't be the case, because there's no possible way that all of their cultivators, 10 different farms that they're getting it from, are so dialed in that they can get upper 20s to low 30s out of hoop houses, light dep. It's just not a thing.
And then you compare. You can look at our stuff that we carry, and then you look at a Dimebag, and you just see they're similar THC results, but the flower is completely different.
Yeah. So that's actually where we set ourselves apart. Is anything you see in our bags comes from one artisanal farm, small farm in Mendo. No matter what strain it is, it's all coming out of Mendo. It's all coming out of the same farm, and that's how our THC results are pretty continuously the same every single run, is because it's all coming out of the same farm.
They do it righteously.
Cali Select, we have an interview with David. Go on the YouTube and watch it. Yeah, what were you going to say, Jared?
Quick question. So
Nice plug.
Every time we do get flour from them, we always test it here on site, and we have to.
Yeah.
Is it tested there? Do they test it before? So essentially the majority of companies are buying their flour from a farm that has not been tested, taking it back, packaging it up, getting it tested after packaging. So they've already done all the first processes to get to this point. And
yes and no. So there's some portable testing equipment that people will take to actual grows, and they'll run some tests real quick and just kind of get some preliminary numbers. There's some R&D testing, which I actually can't even figure out exactly how it works. So some people come to us and they're like, hey, we got some R&D. It's probably going to test about this, but then most people don't even have R&D. But yeah, for the majority of the testing, the most important testing, the most thorough testing is done at our facility.
That's pretty crazy.
Not at the grower.
Yeah. So then you wouldn't even know. Like essentially
you wouldn't know, but the growers that I've got to know, they can predict it because they know the genetics and they know the environment enough that they can say, which actually is one of the reasons they choose that genetics, because they've grown it and it's tested high. So they can say like, oh, hey, this cereal milk is going to be 28% because it's been 28% the last 3 times and nothing has changed.
That makes sense.
But if you're growing new genetics, that can be kind of a crapshoot.
Which if you're just going around and going, okay, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one, and like almost guaranteed one of those is not going to test at 30%. Like, it's crazy. Okay, so that's just making a point.
Exactly. That's a great point. Yep. If you're just going around picking them out, you're going to get some low testers in there for sure, and then nobody's going to want to buy them. So this goes back to, testing labs and if you're a huge company like Jeter, again, they have 40% of the pre-roll. I'm not saying this happened, but
Allegedly.
It would be very. I feel like it would be very easy for them to use their weight to push around to get some higher test results.
Totally.
If you're a testing company and you're like, oh my God, 50 to 60% of all the tests we run are for Jeter, and then Jeter comes in and is like, hey, we're going to move to another company, or we got to get these numbers up there. So that could be one thing that happened. Jeter released a statement.
Allegedly.
Yeah, Jeter released a statement, and basically they were like, come at us, dog.
Yeah.
Like we're bulletproof. Come at us.
That's how I found out. It was the Instagram post today. I haven't heard anything about it, and they just came out, elephant in the room. This is what it is. We take care of our THC levels.
Yeah.
So,
and they came out like flexing, like literally come at us.
Yeah.
Who wants to come at us? So, again, love you, Jeter. I personally smoke your shit. You got great ass pre rolls.
Yeah, amazing product.
You're amazing product. And even if the THC results come back a little bit higher,
none of us complained here.
I'm not going to complain, and I'm going to understand because the retail customers want high THC. And so sometimes you got to play that retail game, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
realistically, in the end, they're getting out of it what they wanted all along. It's just not the actual number that they
Supply and demand
It's
as well,
placebo effect as well.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah.
one of the biggest unexplained things about the human brain. But it's just like it's crazy. That's crazy. So essentially, like you see it, like you think that it's 45%. You smoke it, and you get
45% hide. Yeah. The first weed I ever sold, I was living in the hood in St. Louis, and somebody came up to me and was like, but I was just selling a little weed here and there. And they asked me what the name of it was. And,
Weed.
Exactly. In the hood, there ain't no names, but I said, I just thought of the top of my head, and I'll never forget this. I was like, it's whatever you want it to be. And he says, what? And I go, oh no, the name is whatever you want it to be. And he kind of looked at me like, yeah, you just smoke it and it'll do whatever you like want it to do to you. Like whatever your mindset is at. And I've kind of like that. I've never forgot that story. I was like, man, the guy left.
So we're doing that. We're going to figure a way to bring that to our business right now.
We need to find the perfect hybrid strain.
Yeah.
Just name it whatever.
Whatever you want it to be.
Done. Like
We need to, you know what? I've always wanted to, like in TED 2, like, you know how he names off all those weeds?
Yeah,
like,
can you help me get home?
I know, I personally wanted to
Gorilla
like
panic.
this is permanent.
This is
Like,
they're coming.
Yeah.
And Grandma's Boy, the Frankenstein.
Yes, they're so good. So good.
I need like
I was like, I think I'm a deer or something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And I think I need to trim my antlers. Betty White, R.I.P.
Okay, so
Hey, can you bless her real quick or something?
yes, please, thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you, Father.
But yeah, 100%. So funny.
So that's a big thing. The whole process of testing in general is crazy. So the fact that this is coming out, it's kind of it's not a willy-nilly thing.
No,
So-
it's not. And I think there's going to be more coming out about it.
And probably after this,
Yeah.
I think more companies are going to get bit too.
I think this will fuel
This is going to start a fire.
I read an article that
No pun intended.
I didn't say who was the independent testing company, but it said that somebody went through and I don't know how big the sample size, so take this all with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But they said 80% of products on the shelves were testing outside of that 10% leeway. Another reason for the 10% leeway, I didn't say this earlier, is the degrade of THC over time. So you put something out on the shelf, especially if it's in like a translucent jar, where you can get light gets on it. It's going to degrade THC pretty quickly, quicker than people would think. And so then that can get you, that's why they kind of have that little bit of a buffer zone as well.
Is that why more companies are going like darker jars and shit?
If anybody sees our jars, they're jet
they
black,
are.
and it's for that reason.
Okay, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Learn
It's
something
like
new
we know
every
what
day.
we're doing here, and we pay attention to the
Weird.
details or
I
something.
thought we were just fucking around finding out. All right. Well, we're hitting at 35 minutes. I think we all should say, like I said, it's Halloween this weekend. I think we should do a Halloween story and then kick everybody on out.
All right.
Okay.
So I think Sean should go first.
Okay. Well, this happened last Halloween. Is back to the candy donation thing. I feel like that's like all I'm on today. But there was a local food bank that you could like donate candy and stuff like that after the holidays. And this is local to us, pretty close. Somebody dropped a bunch of THC infused nerd ropes. We're talking like 500 milligram nerd ropes. They looked like they were about a foot long or something like that, and they were black market. Like you can't make candy. You know, like that, because that's obviously kids would be wanting to eat that.
That makes me sad. I want that now.
You need it.
Good.
You need it. And so they just donated it to like a local food pantry that was taking candy donations, and they did not give it out to somebody. Somebody noticed it that was sorting through the candy. But so I don't know if they did it on purpose. I picture like
He probably thought he was doing it for a good thing.
I picture
Like,
some
dude,
let's get the
40-year-old
kids high,
virgin,
man.
40-year-old virgin living at home with his mom, has these nerds rope, and his old mom is like, you know what? I'm gonna donate all this to the food pantry, and then she's just grabbing the.
But the other thing about that, I would never spend probably $100 to give away to poison kids. I'm not gonna waste $100.
That's
like
a 500 milligram nerd rope. Yeah. Like
By the way,
100
it's a
milligrams
bunch
for
of
20
money.
bucks.
And
That's like,
any rational stoner's not going to do that either unless you're a
No.
piece of shit.
Yes. And then you're not really a stoner. You know what? They're doing undercover shit, trying to criminalize us because the man
We
doesn't
see
want
you,
to deal with it.
government. We see you, big government.
Yeah.
Father Wade's gonna send you to hell.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And I'm going to see you there too.
Jared, you're next.
honestly,
What's the best costume you've ever been in?
Oh, that's a good one for you.
Oh, that's a great
actually,
one.
Snap back to like being a child. My mom built me a sea monster costume.
What?
It was. I'll have to find photos of it. It was
Yes,
great.
please do.
She made it at home, custom out of like shirts, ripped up shirts and stuff, and it was like painted and it was crazy. But literally, this sea monster costume, and I looked like Cousin It, but covered in moss.
Oh, powerful Mama T.
Hilarious. It was hilarious.
is funny.
Yeah, definitely some good ones. I don't know. I was a ninja 3 years in a row.
Absolutely. So as was I.
I mean, your
whole
skin tone's
childhood.
perfect for it.
Yeah.
Our age, I was because we're us three are around same age. I was a Red Power Ranger one year. Wolverine, the blue and yellow one. You know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
original
Oh,
cartoon
yeah.
one. Yeah, it was. You know, I tried to deck it out. you know.
Winning.
Yeah, Ninja Turtle one year for sure.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
Which one? Purple? Leonardo?
Michelangelo.
Donatello?
Michelangelo? I
And
gotta do
if
it.
you say like any of the other
Raphael,
ones
Leonardo,
are good, fuck
Donatello.
yourself. It's Michelangelo.
Michael was a big
the
pizza
best.
eater,
Yeah,
right? I could
the
see,
orange
Have you read The Last Ronin?
I have not, and I thought about it. I just haven't done it.
It's so good.
You can
Thank you for
read?
telling
Yeah.
me that. Yes.
Okay.
I actually read comic books at night because I don't like reading. But graphic novels had making me read a little more.
Understand.
My vocabulary
Read The Last
still
Ronin.
sucks.
It's
but
so sad too, though.
that I can't read.
No, I mean, yeah, that is really sad.
Oh, okay, thank you.
The book.
The book, The Last Ronin.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so good, but it's so sad.
Well, thanks
Yeah.
for telling me
okay,
that.
okay, ruined it. They all
I got,
die or something.
I got a story. High school. We all instead of we're going trick or treating. We didn't go trick or treating. We got really really high. Went out, just foraged the streets, and then we came back to the house. And my buddy, we're all saying like we're gonna spend the night there. We're gonna spend the night there. So I'm 14, 13 years old, high as fuck, in my buddy's bed, and then I'm like I'm gonna pass out. And then all of a sudden he comes over to me, shakes me, bro. I'm like, what do you want, bud? My mom won't let you spend the night. You got to go home. And I'm like, the fuck, bro?
I can't move.
I can't. I'm just like, I can't. What? Called my parents. They're having a party themselves, like at their house. So my dad had to come get me. And my excuse was I had way too much candy and I had to go home. And he picked me up. Four sets of parents were there, and I'm like, not feeling good. I'm going upstairs. Went upstairs. I don't know. A couple hours, like 2 hours later, it came down. I'm like drinking a soda, and they're like, "Oh, I thought you weren't feeling good." I'm like, "Oh, I feel great now." Like, everything passed on.
Like, what candy made your eyes look all red?
Fuck. And then the next day, motherfucking buddy calls me. Where the fuck did you go? Why did you leave? He's like, my mom wouldn't have cared if you spent the night. I'm like, why the
what
fuck
the fuck?
do this? I'll tell you who it is after. completely ridiculous. So mad. I mean, I got him back a couple times, but
Was it Domino's Pizza Boy?
yeah, no, it was not. It was not Ernest.
Dang it.
Ernest would probably make me a bed out of wood outside to make me sleep well. And last but not least, Elijah.
Okay, so one of my Halloween stories actually ended up on the news.
Oh, here we go. I'm glad we saved him for last.
For sure.
Nobody knew this was coming. Just to be clear.
No offense, Jared, but I'm glad we didn't have to then go to the your mom made the costume.
Yes. I would have just been like, can we just cut it? Can we just cut it here?
That's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have Sean, and I'm like, I think Elijah needs to be last.
Yeah, I got. I don't know.
All right.
Well, I hope the story goes, yeah, I was in high school. I crawled in my buddy's bed. He started whispering in my ear, you know.
Nope.
Nah.
It was Elijah the whole time.
So, in Slow, at they during October they'll put pumpkins out on some display and they don't take them back inside. So when I had my first truck, my buddy and I had the brilliant idea to do pumpkin chunking. So we filled the bed of my truck full of pumpkins, and I took him out on the freeway.
That you stole.
Yeah.
Okay.
We took him out on the freeway, and we were tossing pumpkins off onto the freeway.
That's great.
So the next morning on the news, I look at my phone, and it turns out that 3 cars had almost been in an accident because they had ran through the guts of the pumpkins and thought that they had killed somebody.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and then my buddy and I looked at him the news the next day, and we literally thought that somebody was gonna come to his house at some point because we know everything has cameras and shit, right? But instead, we just thought it was a brilliant idea to do that, and we did that 3 times.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And never.
Can we clip this
Never
or
got
this
caught.
incriminating?
Never got caught.
Hey, this is like the time has passed, I think.
Dude, I was
Yeah,
I was
that.
20 at the
that.
time. It's
There's
done.
multiple in Slow too. Maybe we'll be
You're
all right.
21. No, I'm joking.
No, this was yeah.
Yesterday. No.
Although
That's insane. Not shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of shocking. I can't believe you did that. What made you think of that? That's so random.
I was high.
It's a great idea.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, but I will say one of the best things I have for costume ever is my aunt made me a full blown Zorro costume, cape,
Oh, that's awesome.
shirt, pants, mask, hat, everything.
That is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that shit was dope. But yeah, that was one of my Halloweens.
That's a fucking epic Halloween.
Wow. Any costume for you? I mean, you asked. everybody.
No, one time I was Bob Dole when he was running. I was a little kid.
Who was Bob Dole?
Bob Dole ran for president. He did not win. Nor do I even as an adult probably agree with the things that he was running for. But I was like a little kid. We were in the Halloween store, and my mom just let me do whatever I was want. And so I was like, I want to be this old guy. And she's
Bob
like,
fucking Dole.
Yeah, and I was Bob Dole.
That's so. He's a politician.
I am huge into pumpkin carving. It's like my thing. I was watching YouTube videos last night about it. I got some great plans. I'm going to carve them over the weekend. I don't know my Instagram handle. Sean Bean.
I think it's Sean Bean.
Yeah,
something like that.
Sean _ Bean. I think.
Exactly. I'll post some shit of my pumpkin carving escapades. You can see my last year escapades. It was pretty badass. I had a big pumpkin with a really detailed mouth chewing on a littler pumpkin. Yeah, it was pretty cool. This year I'm doing one where it looks like the brain, that you remove the top of their head and it's all
Do you
brained.
vibe when you're doing this? Are you vibing?
Where do you think I get my creative juices from? Gotta have creative juices and patience with children.
Yeah, no shit. A tip my wife saw on the TikTok or the gram.
On the TikTok.
You don't open the top. You open the bottom.
The bottom. Yep.
And then, do you know how the woman got the seeds out? A fucking blender, handheld blender, and you go all the way around and it gets all the shit and it pumps right out.
That makes complete sense.
That makes sense. So go through
Instead
the
of
ass on
scraping
the
your
top.
bitch ass, you can just get a little burp burp.
I mean,
Right?
Some of the fun out of it. But yeah, no, it's genius.
No.
It's absolutely genius.
It's very
and so
genius.
much faster. And yeah, because it took us
When you have
it takes
kids,
like 15
when you have
minutes to do it nice. Like get all those little strings
And if you do the
out
bottom,
and you're-
you can do all the way around, like
Yes.
360 style pumpkin carving.
exactly, and then the candle just on the floor. You don't have to.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
smart.
I'm gonna
Just
put a
get a
big-
little stand for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna put a big dick on one. This should be pretty fun.
just all the way around.
I'll send you
Speaking
some
of things in
pictures.
high school, quickly, one time in high school, we went out and we painted
Speaking of big dicks,
huge
I wanted
dicks
to-
all over the road.
Oh, you really did.
We did this with white paint, like oil-based paint with a brush, not even spray paint, and it became super notorious. And they were trying to find out who did it because I grew up in like a real small town, and they were
so you kept doing it.
we just did multiple in one night.
Oh, okay.
And then it was like a whole, and they didn't go away for years. Like I would come back and visit from college, and there's still like faint penises out on this one one road.
yeah.
Next time you go back, can you please do it and see if like the return of the dicks?
Oh, that would be so great.
Hey, people in Nebraska, can somebody go to his hometown and do this and see if it can spread some chaos?
Maybe we'll just start
you have an
spraying
idea?
dicks out here.
Homeboy should probably. Oh, he's not there anymore, huh?
No. We have somebody who works here that I grew up with, and he was with me on the dick painting escapades.
Of course he was. Of course
It might
he
have been
was.
his idea, knowing him. I don't
Maybe
even
we'll just
know.
do it in Santa Barbara.
Us the stuff with the dicks on it. It's
sure.
like discount code on back. You'd flip the sheet over, it'd be a penis coming. It's
Oh
like,
my god, there was one he sent us, and this dude, it was oh my god, it was a frontal shot of a guy with only his like belly button down, and the dude, it looked like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Oh my god.
We opened up, he was sending us CBD products to put on our menu. We opened up the box, we're just like, what the
Should we do like a discount code for 10% off for like saying big dick on the
Yes.
website?
I think okay.
Or BD.
Here's this. Here's the deal. If you are listening, I'm doing this on the fly right now.
All right.
Yeah. If you're
better
listening
listen.
and you want to place an order, I'm going to put a code up. Let's see. It's going to be pumpkin.
All right.
Pumpkin, all capitals. You get 20% off your order. It'll be good through Halloween.
All right.
Through Halloween night, if you want to use the code pumpkin, all caps.
For how much?
20, dog.
Pumpkin.
20. And this is off the top of my head right now. We're just throwing it out there.
And this is podcast only. So we're going to say there's going to be a discount code, but you have to watch or listen to the podcast. So
100%.
Exclusive.
I'm going to go build that.
One more time, what is it?
Jared. You can build that after this, please.
He was already on it.
What is it? One more time?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
All
caps.
caps.
So actually, since this drops on Halloween, you got to use it on Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you got one day to use this.
Okay.
So one day.
Yeah.
One day and one day only.
Oh,
Yep.
so
I
we
need to
need
know
it.
because I'm the one
Yep.
building it.
Well, this will drop on Monday. So
Okay, drop on Monday.
on Halloween.
Pumpkin.
8:30.
20% off.
Yep. Halloween.
Oh
all
yeah,
day.
it drops on Monday. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll our socials will say, hey, if you want a discount Halloween code,
got
we'll
you.
make that happen. And then, yeah, hopefully if you're listening to this, you'll buy some weed.
Definitely buy some weed.
Dope.
All right, everybody.
Go pumpkin chunkin'.
Stay high.
Let's
Stay
go.
high.